All right, leaders, let's be brutally, uncomfortably honest for a moment. You're staring at those dashboards, all green, all glorious, right? Your numbers look good, but your team looks like they just dragged a piano across the desert. So they're not lazy. No, my friend, they're completely buried under a mountain of unseen work. While those dashboards are showing you a total corporate fantasy, invisible work is still execution, and you are still in charge of every single bit of it. Welcome to episode 3 of the Culture Shift series, and this week we've ripped off the bandage on a truly damaging hidden threat. For those new here, and for our returning folks, this series is about fixing how things get done for good. In episode 1, we talked about role dilution. We showed how unclear jobs and hidden handoff slowly breaks down execution. We talked about how collaboration can actually hide who owns what, leaving key tasks just for floating around with good intention. Then, in episode 2, the helpful leader who's blocking ownership, we looked at the hero leader, the one always jumping in to save the day, but actually stopping others from taking responsibility or having ownership. So what looks like help is often just making people dependent, creating a bottleneck that's frankly infuriating. So both of these, as you are about to see, are perfect places for our topic that's going to start today. I'm a little late. I'm sorry. So this week, we shift to a problem few leaders even dare to look at: the silent backlog. This isn't just about missing deadlines or bad time management. This is about unspoken tasks, hidden expectation, secret jobs, the stuff that quietly but relentlessly eats away at performance. They're not on any project plan. They're not in any system that you track, but your team feels them every single tough day. Without proper leadership and clear systems, these tasks pile up. They stay hidden, and eventually, they don't just burn out your people, they utterly sabotage your results. Because if execution is happening behind the scene with no structure to protect it, you are not managing performance. You are managing pure, unadulterated survival. And that, my friends, always ends in a huge crash. So it's time to pull back the curtain on these problems that we have before your entire operation implodes. So, what exactly is this silent backlog? Every team has a to-do list, a project plan, a glorious set of KPIs. Glorious. But peek behind those official checklists, really lean in, and you'll often find a silent backlog. Tasks and duties that don't show up on any report, yet they consume your team's time and energy like a black hole. It's the extra client requests handled informally, quiet promises made, the improvements put off for later, the big gaps left by people who've left that somehow quietly, heroically fills. These are the pieces of work that aren't clearly planned or tracked, but still have to get done by someone. In short, the silent backlog is workload in the shadows, a damn liability in plain sight. So why call it a threat to getting things done? Because silent backlogs act like tiny hidden termites. They slowly but surely eat away at your team's ability to work and their morale. So on the surface, everything looks fine. There's no alarms going off, no tasks officially late, but underneath, people are juggling unplanned duties like desperate circus clowns, working late into the night, getting closer to total burnout. The invisible work drains all the energy needed for the visible work. So by the time you finally see the damage, it shows up at utterly missed deadlines, embarrassing mistakes, or a key person quitting from pure exhaustion. It's already big. If half the work isn't tracked, it's not execution, it's leakage. It's a sneaky, dangerous killer of productivity that's already got your number. So, if silent backlogs are so destructive, why in the world do they start in the first place? That's the tough answer. Because of us, because of you, the leaders, and the messy cultures we often unknowingly keep. Let's talk about it. Always say yes culture, right? We have this sneaky, silent expectation to just say yes, figure it out later. Leaders often encourage this by constantly adding urgent, new tasks without changing timelines or resources. The hidden work grows as people quietly think, we'll handle it somehow. This save all attitude, it'll get done, or I'll get it done even if I have to work all night, is praised as dedication. But it's also a direct one-way ticket to burnout and a mountain of hidden work. Your team isn't strong. They're just exceptionally good at looking busy while quietly losing their damn minds. That one hit home for a little bit. All right, so the hero problem, let's talk about that one. That one team member who's always swooping in like a superhero to fix things. While heroics can solve immediate problems, they hide deeper issues. So when your system relies on heroes, it's a huge flashing sign that something big is broken. So let's talk about lack of safety to speak up. Sometimes team members keep their head down because the culture actively punishes saying, I can't do more, or this isn't feasible. If sharing a concern gets you called negative or bad at your job, you quickly learn to suffer in silence. That silence, my friend, creates backlog. Leadership failure point. Not creating a place where saying, we have a problem is met with solution, not the silly idea of blaming the messenger. If your team gives you that blank, tired look when you ask if they're okay, that's a clear sign that it's not safe to speak up. So, bad ways to see work. Simply put, what isn't tracked simply isn't managed. Quick requests in the hallway, urgent emails that never make it into the project plan, maintenance tasks that get put off forever. If you don't have one clear place for all work, you're going to have a massive pile of tasks nobody knows about. This is a big problem with leadership and systems. It's like flying a plane without a dashboard. You're guessing until a huge crisis hits. So, conflicting goals and metrics. Companies, believe it or not, tend to manage what's easy to measure. If leaders only care about the clean numbers in the official report, they might blissfully miss the 15 other important tasks being handled secretly. This playing game creates a very false sense of safety at the top. When being obsessed with numbers completely ignores reality, silent backlog doesn't just grow, it explodes. Leaders using quick fixes instead of real solutions. Finally, a big leadership failure point. How we react to clear signs of overload. A leader just tells people to work harder, just be more organized. It's treating symptoms, not the actual sickness. That approach often just pushes the hidden work onto someone else or on to next week, but it fixes nothing. Meanwhile, the real problems causing the hidden work sticks around. Laughing at your denial, it's as helpful as telling a drowning person to just swim faster. Like that'll help them. This problem isn't just in one department, its bad effects spread through the whole company, hitting every level. Let's talk about it. Frontline and team members, they carry the hidden load. Late nights, constant soul-crushing stress, quietly doing secret tasks to avoid letting coworkers or customers down. Overtime, they get really angry. Management has no idea how hard we're actually working. Burnout doesn't just threaten, it takes over. It's a sure way to get people to quietly quit or even worse, actually leave. Even the most dedicated people will eventually say, enough, when every single day feels like climbing a hill with a heavy backpack of unseen tasks. And trust me, the only good surprise you'll get from them is a surprise resignation letter that hits hard. For managers and team leads, they live with the cruel illusion of control. Their numbers might look good, But then suddenly a deadline is missed or work comes out really bad. What happened, they ask, and the team slowly shows a pile of unplanned work that took all their focus. The manager is totally surprised. They didn't see it coming because those tasks never made it to their meetings or dashboards. For managers, the silent backlog is really frustrating because it hides true capacity. It's like trying to give out work with a hidden extra cost on everyone's time. If a team member is at 120% capacity because of hidden work, the manager might accidentally give them another project, pushing them even further past their limit. Managers often end up rushing to fix problems, moving people around at the last minute, begging for more time, or doing the extra tasks themselves on weekends. Many complain, "I wish you guys would have told me sooner." But without a clear system, the team doesn't tell. The manager doesn't know. It's incredibly hard to lead when you're always finding hidden dangers just below the surface. So, leaders at the top, at this level, the silent backlog is a hidden risk that can explode into a full-blown crisis. Top leaders usually look at big picture numbers. They might vaguely notice things like rising overtime, more sick days, or slipping schedules, but they rarely connect those to a hidden workload problem deeper down. Operations might seem smooth, and then a major project fails or a key product launch completely bombs. Often, after it all goes wrong, they find out, you know what? We really underestimated how much work was actually involved. Or teams were stretched too thin with other secret duties. In other words, a silent backlog hit the company right when it was the most painful. For top leaders, this is just about performance, or this is not just about performance, but a huge trust issue. It can destroy their confidence in their managers, like why on the earth didn't we know about this? It can also devastate their reputation with clients or partners if promises aren't kept. If you're not very, very worried about what you don't see in the work pipeline, that silent backlog will eventually force its way into your attention, usually in the most terrible possible way. And by terrible, I mean those mind-numbing, late-night calls from the board or your boss, not just a passive-aggressive email from accounting. So in short, absolutely no one is safe. Frontline employees get completely overworked, managers lose all control, and top leaders get nasty surprises that can cost a lot. This shared pain is why dealing with silent backlog isn't just about making teams feel good, it's absolutely critical for the business to survive. Because if it's not visible, it's not managed. And if it's not managed, it's a ticking time bomb. So this week, our goal is to show this problem very clearly, to make you see what you've been ignoring or didn't know was there, to show the hidden weight that's quietly, badly damaging your results. We believe that by calling the silent backlog a major threat to execution, we treat it with the seriousness it deserves. It leads to execution debt. The longer you ignore it, the more interesting in stress, lost efficiency, and pure company pain it builds up. You simply cannot fix the problem you can't see. So let's be clear, your team isn't lazy. They're very likely drowning in unseen work while you stare at dashboards that are completely lying to you. This is the grim, quiet truth in too many companies. The first and most important step to solve any problem is having the courage to admit you have one. And trust me, you absolutely 100% have one. In future episodes of the W.A.R Room series, we will step-by-step show you how the Culture Shift Execution Framework gives you the fixes needed to bring hidden work to light and quickly assign jobs that no one owns. And finally, remove the crushing weight that's slowing down your team for good. We'll dive into the concrete tools and the strong steps that make the invisible visible, like the heat map, the backlog visibility tool, making sure this constant draining problem becomes rare and easy to handle, not a never-ending nightmare. So for now, truly understand this huge threat, check your current situation, look past the numbers, and ask the questions that no one's asking, especially the uncomfortable one. Because if silent backlog exists in your company, the clock is already ticking. And trust me, you do not want to wait for burnout to confirm it. your team and your entire operation will thank you for acting now. We'll see you next week.